Hello and welcome to another episode of HubSpot Tip of the Month. This month we're focusing on merging contacts with a very special tip at the end. So if you've been in a situation where you've created a deal and there's a little checkbox where you can track activity associated with that deal, but you've forgotten to tick the checkbox and you've created the deal and you're like, I just want to get all the activity back into the deal. There's a trick which I'll show you at the end to how to do that as well. So the first part of the tip of the month is to merge contacts. So here's a situation where we've got our dummy testing instance of HubSpot here, and we have multiple versions of myself because I do a lot of testing. And we'll see a situation here. I'm just going to pick on these two here. So one is a Gmail and one is like a legit email address. And what I want to do is merge those two contacts together. So the first thing I do is that I go to the one which is like the main record that I want to merge everyone else into. And I'm just going to open that in a new tab. And what I want to do is click on the actions and then merge. And it shows me a screen that says, okay, who do you want to merge into this contact? So just before I do that, I'm going to open up the record that I want to merge into. And this is this John Hill at Gmail. And I just wanted you to notice that I've got a deal in here already. There's some activity that's happened. So if I go back to the main contact that I'm merging into, and then I search for john@gmail.com, and then click merge. So what happens is it merges all the contents together. And if I refresh this record, we'll see that the contact now has two email addresses. So if I click on edit, I've got a primary email address and a secondary email address. So maybe that's my home address. We've just got it in there for records. And on the right-hand side, we've got all of the deals that they're associated with as well. So we've now got all those deals. And companies and any activity as well also comes into this list here as well. So essentially what that means is I haven't lost any data, but just remember that if you are merging, there might be some fields that take precedence over another one. So where it can, it'll add onto the field. So the email is a great example. If there's multiple phone numbers, you'll have multiple phone numbers, etc. But just remember that it's going to try and bring as much information as it can across, and it's going to try not to lose any information as well. So you can do that on contacts, you can do it on companies, and you can do it on sales deals as well. So let's just backtrack to that tip and have a look at how to re-include a person's history into a deal as well. So I'm just going to jump back into that main record, and I'm going to click on add, and I'm going to create a new deal, and we'll just call it merging a deal. Okay, and the pipeline, main sales pipeline, and et cetera, et cetera. So if you remember, there's a little tick box where you can add activity for the past X amount of days or forever, for all time. Into that, I'm just going to select all time because it is our demo database and I want to make sure some activity will get poured across. So that's I put merging deal with activity. And then if I click create, you'll see that all the activity comes across, which is great. Now, if I go back to my own record and then create another deal, and say I forget merging with no activity. There we go. And I untick these. Okay, so I've added the content, but I've forgotten to tick those tick boxes. I click create, and now I've got this deal with no activity with it. So say I've been going along, I've created some line items, I've created a quote, and then I get to the point and I'm like, oh no, I forgot to add all the activity in. I'll show you a trick. So what we need to do is we go back to the main contacts. We create another deal. So I'm just going to have this one the same name. Click add. And I'm going to call this one no activity with activity. Okay, and in this one I'm actually going to tick the boxes and say bring in all of the historical data. Create that. And now I've got this new deal in the system with all of the activity in it. So here's the fun part. So what we can do is go to actions and then merge. And then we search for the one where I'd forgotten to tick the tick box. And just remember, this is the one where it might have been open for a couple of weeks and I've added things, I've updated things, etc. And I'll just want to get all that information back into a deal. So essentially I'll merge those together. I'm going to search for that original one. And then I merge them together. And hey presto, it's brought everything from this deal, which I'd forgotten to tick the tick boxes, into a new deal which has all of the activity into it. So there you are. That's our HubSpot tip of the month. A little bit more detailed than most, but I hope you enjoyed it and see you in our next tip next month. Thank you.